two of 2024's iconic camera smartphones, the mighty Pixel 8 Pro up against the ultra-premium edition of the Xiaomi 14 series. Pictures, videos, camera features and specs, which is the better one? Let's inspect. Me too. Just as you, have also been impatiently waiting for this kind of comparison, and it appears a few months after these two smartphones have been released on the market, the Pixel 8 Pro and the Xiaomi 14 Ultra, apparently two of the most favorite camera smartphones of 2024. And if you wonder why I released this episode that late, well, the major reason is because I wanted to give both companies enough of time so that they can push those initial first month's updates with refinements of the camera experience, and the cameras would perform as close as possible to their optimal values. Meaning that whatever we get from now on in terms of updates probably would slightly improve these smartphones' cameras, but it's gonna be rather insignificant. So here we go. This video is about a side-by-side comparison of these two brilliant camera smartphones, the Pixel 8 Pro and the Xiaomi 14 Ultra. And for best kind of experience, I suggest you watching this video in the highest possible resolution, supported by your device. This video is not sponsored by any of the brands, and if by the end of the episode you still have some trust issues, I invite you to download all the samples and compare them on your own. Well, with that being said, showtime! Main cameras, daytime performance. Side by side, these photos look as if I've taken both with the same phone, but I haven't. Before anything else, kudos to both phones about the stellar main camera performance, because everything is so well balanced. Colors, sharpness, contrast, exposure, everything. Not a single weakness I could notice. And if there's one little difference between both, that would be the slightly more saturated sky color on the right side. It feels exactly the same way with the next daytime sample. The only difference that I notice is the darker area from which Xiaomi managed to extract greater dynamic range and amount of details. And just when I thought that Xiaomi finally has the edge when it comes to main camera performance, comes this low-light image comparison. It's not just a confirmation, it's simply proving that Pixel 8 Pro may no longer be the low-light champion that it used to be when it was launched. If you're still not that convinced, here's yet another proof that the Pixel phone cannot catch up in terms of dynamic range regardless. The latest Pixel camera app as of July 2024 is running for the record, so it is as good as it could be. Fact is that with video performance the difference is even more notable, with dynamic range being clearly on the Xiaomi side. The low light performance is also slightly better on the right, with stabilization of both living jittery artifacts, which are a bit less on the right. After all, the result is in line with the hardware boundaries that we have. Google's Pixel 8 Pro is equipped with a bit outdated and smaller image sensor, meaning that Xiaomi's device relies on greater amounts of light, plus it has a much more advanced lens system with variable aperture, making it even closer to a professional DSLR camera. To put it in simple words, concerning the main camera performance, 14 Ultra takes the lead. If we now go for a wider perspective, we kind of start the same way as we did in the last round, because these snaps are close to identical. Slightly greater saturation on the left. Let's pick up the pace with a more challenging dynamic range photo example, and Pixel 8 Pro starts to show muscles. Reduce the light, and boom, the Empire strikes back. True, Xiaomi 14 Ultra tends to handle the combination of very bright and dark areas in a much better way, retaining greater amount of details and providing better processing. With video, I guess we have quite a similar situation. Daytime footage appears to be slightly better on the Pixel side. For low light, Xiaomi's phone tends to add a lot more colors. Amount of details is almost the same with both, and here I tend to believe that although by a narrow margin, Pixel 8 Pro performs slightly better overall. This statement is additionally backed by the somewhat larger pixel size on the sensor inside, although the aperture is wider on the Mi side. Next, and it's fair to mention that Xiaomi 14 Ultra is equipped with one more telephoto camera, the so-called 3.2x zoom, which equals to 75mm in a 35mm equivalent. This is close to the 3x zoom on smartphones such as Galaxy S24 Plus, the vanilla Xiaomi 14, and so on. Image sensor, is the same as the one used for the ultra-wide camera, however has a different lens. My personal take on this is that 14 Ultra is designed in a really smart way, because having the same image sensors for all the three cameras next to the main one is definitely bringing a lot better color consistency, something that most vendors quite often famously fail to properly tune. Having an interim hardware camera between the main one and the 5x zoom is clearly a good idea, but it sacrifices a bit of space on the backside. So the narrower telephoto on both is what we observe side by side now, and Pixel 8 Pro seems to do better at the first sight. It's the round where it comes with the most notable HDR effect, which is kind of typical for the Google Pixel line of photo processing. It could have been even better at dark, because I feel that the more pleasant colors are again on the right side, but feels like there's a bit more texture extracted by the Pixel-made photo. In the next sample, we can see a good confirmation about it. Still, Google's software messed up the processing around the night lamp, but Xiaomi 14 Ultra struggles to deliver details in certain areas, and while we watched the video performance side by side, we could already draw a few conclusions. The 5x telephoto camera is better on the Pixel side, insignificantly though, and image stabilization is clearly better too, meaning that based on the samples that we've seen thus far, Xiaomi 14 Ultra wins about main camera performance, but it is Google Pixel showing superiority about the ultra-wide and the 5x zoom setups. Probably I won't surprise anyone by saying that concerning the front camera, we can easily reward the Google Pixel line with another victory. Finally, Xiaomi bring in a setup capable of producing 4K video, but it is the photo element that looks a lot better on the left. More natural, less AI intervention. Xiaomi makes my skin look as if I have tons of makeup and I'm 5 years younger than what I am right now, which, yeah, might push some of you to actually go for this kind of camera. And these artificially created bokeh emulating dots, they do look nice, but being that many makes me immediately suspicious. They just draw too much of attention. And of course, we know that sometimes the true camera experience is way beyond the specs and the snaps. You can try some other features, such as slow motion, the macro capabilities. Each of these phones can be quite superb about these. I won't dedicate a macro round here, because via the Pro mode of the phones you can actually utilize each one of the cameras to make close-ups, as long as you can keep your hands static. In that regard, Pixel cameras are famous for their vanilla experience, offering uncompromised smoothness and pleasant feeling, whereas Xiaomi offer a lot more features for filming, such as the dedicated Pro modes, the Super Moon, the Director mode, document scanner, and so on. On the other hand, it's the Pixel Photo Editor, which will blow your mind with the ability to erase people or objects from your photos within just seconds. While testing these phones, none of the camera apps has ever crashed, and Xiaomi 14 has always been faster about taking the pictures, probably because of the faster processing unit inside. So before the wrap-up, let me give you a moment to pick a winner based on the facts shared in the last few minutes. It is always so interesting to match expectations to reality, because truth is that before I started working on this episode, I thought it's going to be a very easy win for the Pixel 8 Pro, but I feel that this episode kind of debunks two myths. The first one, that this is the undisputed master of low-light photography. Well, apparently now, the main camera of Xiaomi 14 Ultra can do better. And the second myth, that the Pixel 8 camera or the Pixel series camera app is so much better, well, probably in some ways it still is, but not entirely correct when it comes to the capabilities of the the Hyper OS camera app, because it comes not only with more features, but when it comes to manual controls, I feel that it is one of the most capable out there on the market. So, which of these two smartphones deserves your attention? Obviously, if you're a tech freak or a tech enthusiast and you're looking for the absolutely best kind of hardware in the smartphone of 2024, especially of those from the Xiaomi or the Pixel lines, I feel that the 14 Ultra is the right match to you, because especially the main camera performance is quite surprisingly better, at least in my opinion, than what you get on the Pixel 8 Pro. keep in mind not that significantly. On the other hand, if you value the overall software experience and this kind of pixel-like feeling, you can't go wrong with the Pixel 8 Pro, and don't forget that Google are promising 7 years worth of software updates for this particular device. So it would be very interesting to hear about what you think. Which of these two would you choose and why? Which is your personal favorite? Let me know in the comment section below the video. Make sure to let me know about your reasons to give me this verdict. And of course, in case you have any other follow-up questions, feel free to ask. If you want to support my work here on the channel, check some of the links in the video description area. Most of them are affiliate links, meaning that it greatly helps me to do better. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel for more cool tech inspections, and I, Michael the Zek Mishka, wish you a lovely day. See you around. Bye.